Happy Friday, everybody. Uh, Welcome to There's No Crying in Crochet. It's Friday afternoon at 2 o'clock Eastern and 1 p.m. Central. I'm your host, Debbie from MadameStitch, with my cohort in crime.
Biz from Busy Crochet. Hi, everybody.
All right, so apparently I need to get my brain focused because it's everywhere and I'm stumbling over my words, apparently. Okay.
Oh,
All
you're
right.
pulling a Biz this week.
All right, well, good. Maybe that's a host thing. So whoever's hosting is the one who's going, I don't know. But today, we are celebrating 1 year of podcasting. We're going to talk
Yay.
all about it in just a second. All right, so business first, as we always do. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. So now we are streaming live into YouTube and streaming live on our Facebook pages, not the groups on Facebook. So in YouTube, we want you to subscribe and like because that means you'll get a notification every time we schedule a new podcast or drop a new tutorial or anything that's crochet related.
Yeah.
You'll be the first to know.
Yeah.
So it's Busy Crochet and MadameStitch Crochet. If you're watching on Facebook, we are streaming using StreamYard right now. And if you give StreamYard permission just once is all you need, StreamYard will display your name so we can see who's talking to us in the comments. Yeah, otherwise it says Facebook user. We love you, but we want to know who you are so we can address you directly. All right. Well, we start every episode with what's up this week. So I'm going to let Biz take over. Biz, what's up
So
with
my
you
week's
this
been, I think your story's going to be way better than mine.
I'm feeling badly about what I think I'm going to hear.
I tweaked my left hand again. So Sunday I heard it at church, and then I was fine to crochet Sunday night, but by the time that I sat down to crochet on Monday, I couldn't anymore. It hurt so bad. There was something in my palm that was cold or pinched or something. I don't know what it is. So I went on Amazon right quick and ordered a bunch of different compression gloves and a brace so that I could see what's going to work the best, because I seem to be having a continual problem with it and it's happening more often. So I don't want to just go without any kind of help. So I'm kind of doing my own product research right now. And I have found that the brace that I got, it's one of those ones that's got the like Velcro, and it holds you just completely still, kind of like right after a carpal tunnel surgery. That one worked really, really well for the first couple of days because it just kept everything very, very still. And I wasn't able to squeeze or do anything with my hand, which I think helped to heal this. So then yesterday, this one came, and I know it looks funny, but it's got different areas of compression throughout, and it's squeezing the daylights out of my arm, but it actually feels really, really good. And I do take it off 2 to 3 times a day just because this little section right here, see how it's all crinkly? It likes to dig into my skin. So just to kind of, rub that. But then today I got these. So they're a little bit different. They're shaped different. They squeeze different. They're a different compression strength. And this one has a pair, and I had it on for a little while, but I found that wearing this one on my left arm allowed like that pain to come back. It was weird. So I don't know what it is about this one, but it compresses something that needs to be compressed in my left arm because I don't have any pain to squeeze. I like this on my right arm just because it seems to help. I don't know. They both feel good. I'm probably going to keep all of them because they all feel good for different reasons. But I'm at the moment on pain management. So that's been my whole week. I haven't touched the hook since Monday. And I'm so
I'm
behind.
sorry.
Oh my God.
Well,
So behind.
it's not just about being behind. Crochet is my mental
Yes.
health.
Oh my
It
gosh.
is absolutely my mental health.
I
So
think
when
I've
I don't
eaten
get
more as well.
I'm laughing, but I relate. It it's just how I keep from going nuts,
Mhm.
absolutely nuts. So I feel ya. I don't know how you're doing it, but hopefully you can get back to it this weekend.
Gaining weight, that we'll just say that. Gaining weight and
Uh,
I'm really bored.
uh, yeah, well, we'll talk about what you're watching at the end of the episode. Oh, let's see. What's up with me? Let's see. So, usual stuff. I mean, it's springtime around here, so yard work has started. So I spent some time out. We have this huge butterfly bush
Mhm.
that by the time it blooms, we actually get hummingbirds. We get these moths that are called hummingbird moths that actually
Oh,
look like hummingbirds and they fly
really?
the same. They're built the same. It's hilarious.
Wow.
Love watching my butterfly bush. Um, but that doesn't really come into flower until about the middle of July. So, starting to do those outdoor chores. But I know I've mentioned before on a previous episode that my
Mhm.
daughter adopted a puppy mill rescue mom. So,
Yeah.
if you're not familiar with puppy mill moms, they just lead a horrific life for the first few years of their lives. And thankfully, there are rescues now that will pluck them out of that when the puppy mill decides they're of no more use. This little
Mhm.
girl is just a 15-pound ball of fur, mini Australian Shepherd, gorgeous, gorgeous dog. But I'll tell you what, she's got trust issues, anxiety issues. She did not
I'm
know how to be a
sure.
dog when we first got her. And because my daughter comes up every weekend and spends the weekend with us, Poppy has been taking cues from Daisy. Now, Daisy doesn't necessarily like being
Oh,
with other dogs, but she's
okay.
starting to learn how to be a dog from Daisy. One of the last pieces of the puzzle was, when my daughter has to leave her with us, she won't let us take her out, so that means she's doing all of her business all day long in the house, and that's not really
Okay.
cool.
Mhm.
So, my husband, for some reason, has gotten to a place where he can actually get the harness on her. Now, that was the first step. Then we
Oh,
try
wow.
to get her out of the house, and she'd dig
Mhm.
in her heels, and we're not
Mm.
going anywhere, and 15 pounds is strong, baby. A
Oh my
dog,
gosh, I have a
it
little
doesn't
20
matter,
pound where I don't know
right?
how she makes herself heavier.
I don't know, but they can dig in and you're not going anywhere, and the
Mhm.
only difference is you can pick them up. But we didn't wanna do that with Poppy because manhandling is probably not a good thing at this point.
Yeah.
But this a couple days ago, my daughter had to be in New York City all day long, and so we were tasked with watching Poppy again. My husband gets the harness on her around noon, and we haul both dogs out. We got her to the end of the street to her favorite spot. She was able to do her business. It was great. She
Oh, that's
actually hung
awesome.
out for a little bit. Great, we came back. Late afternoon, we're out the door again. We take her to the end of the street. She does her business again. Then it was a day when I had to pick up the grandson, so she had the grandsons piling in, all of this extra stuff going on. By the time we got to the 3rd one, which was around dinner time, she was going, "What are we doing, and why are we doing it?" But we managed to get her to the end of the street again. She
Again?
did her
Why are we
business.
out here again?
I know, but this time it was like, I'm gonna run a little bit, then I'm gonna stop. Then I'm gonna run a little bit, I'm gonna stop. I'm really not sure I wanna do this, but we got her out 3 times.
That's so
So,
exciting.
yeah, I know people don't really think about that when she's a 3-year-old dog, but
Yeah.
she just has massive trust issues. So,
Yeah.
we broke the barrier. It was great.
We've had several dogs over the years that, thought they were people, and so it was like they had weird mannerisms, and when we got Frankie, we inherited her from, some cousins, and, um, she has helped we always say that she teaches other dogs how to dog because she
Yeah, there you go.
because She barks at absolutely everything. She has no problem. I mean, like, she's super dog, like, she's very dog. And they're like, even Stephanie's dog, Scout, the husky, there are things that Scout has picked up from Frankie, different mannerisms that she's picked up from her, just living with her and stuff like that. And
Mhm.
where she used to be really crazy, and she's just not anymore. She's like, "Oh, we have downtime, we have sleep time." And
Yes,
so
we do.
Tony has even said, I watch all these people, these reels on Facebook and TikTok and Instagram, and they're like, "Oh, huskies are just crazy." He said, "We must have a defective one because she's super mellow. She has her moments." And I swear it's because she hangs out with an older dog who does
Mhm.
nothing but sleep. So she's learned
Yeah.
that in the house, that's chill time.
Yep.
So,
And Poppy didn't bark at all
oh
until
wow.
Daisy taught her
Oh,
that when
thanks,
the garage
Daisy.
door yeah, and so my daughter's really happy about that one. When the garage door opens, it means something good is about to happen, so let's bark at it.
Oh, that's
You know,
funny.
and she's funny when and Daisy I love to hear Daisy bark because it just adds life to the house. I just love it, and she
Yeah.
watches people. So every time Daisy barks, Poppy goes, "What? What? Bark? What? Bark?"
That's
It's
so
just
funny.
and my daughter is not happy about that. But anyway,
When you leave them at grandma and grandpa's house, no telling what's gonna come home.
I know she's lucky we're not feeding her bad food. So anyway, um, that's what's up with us this week. We have covered all of that.
Yes.
So it's time for us. I feel like I need a drum roll here, right? This week's episode is celebrating 1 year of the podcast. Now it's only
Yay.
episode 44. We did miss a couple of weeks
Yeah.
in there, and
Did
we'll
we
be
miss them or
celebrating
did
our
we strategically choose to not do them?
right. So we took my birthday off,
Yay.
that was okay. And
Gotta
other,
have
you know,
birthdays.
we took Christmas off,
We
so
did.
we did do that. We'll be celebrating our 50th episode in June with a really
Yay.
fun we're gonna do special stuff for that one. So,
Yeah.
today, we're gonna talk about how this came to be
Mhm.
and give you a recap of some of the fun episodes that we remember, what we've been doing, and then take a little bit of a look ahead, even though we've really only kind of planned through June. We have ideas for the future that we just have to put them on the calendar and figure them
Mhm.
out. So
Yeah.
I'm going to start with this is a really fun story. So, how we met.
How we
This is
met.
crazy. You know what? Yes, I feel like that's a cue for a song too. All right, so Biz is gonna tell at least the first part of the story
Yeah.
because she's the reason we met.
Yes. So I had this project and I may go back to it, probably not though. But I just cuz well, anyway, um I had this project where I decided that I wanted to really highlight other artists, other crochet designers, anybody within the fiber arts field. If you made, stitch markers, that kind of stuff. I just wanted to have the opportunity to get faces in front of people because one of the things that crochet designers are the worst at is getting our faces out there. Really, because not everybody likes to be in front of the camera. It was really, 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 really hard for me. I've been doing it for a few years now, but it was so hard for me when I first did it. And I thought, I'm going to give people the opportunity to do it in kind of a safe space where you don't have to come up with the content. I will ask you questions. We'll do it like an interview. And you get the chance to just tell people who you are and what your business is about and really what they can expect from you, and hopefully people will connect with you. And so you were actually one of my very first episodes. I can't even remember.
Oh,
It was in the first 5. And because you were willing to, and the thing is that, when you see people, hey, I'm starting this thing. Who wants to join me and help me out with it and all this stuff? A lot of people are
oh,
very wary of it because they're like, what do you want from me? You know, I'm just being real here. And because there's so many people who want, from you. But really this was just hey, I just want your time. If you will give me 45 minutes of time, I will put out a video that you can use to advertise yourself.
Mhm.
And so yeah, you were one of the people who were willing to be brave and do that with me.
That's amazing. So I don't know where you posted it. I don't remember where you posted it,
The
but I
crochet
saw the
business group.
gotcha. So I saw the post. Biz was asking for people to participate, and I thought
Mhm.
this is a great way to get my face in front of other people, as she was saying.
Mhm.
And I just thought it would be a great way to give it a try. And if I didn't like it, I didn't have to do it again. It was just a once and
Mhm.
done. Little
Yeah.
did I know that I would show up. So Biz sends me a list of questions, and I very dutifully, because I love homework, filled out all the questions. I do. I was just an aside. I was the kid in high school when the teacher would go, "And you have homework tonight." The rest of the class would groan, and I would go, "Okay, tell me what it is. I'm ready. Let's go." Okay. So anyway, so I
Oh,
very
no.
dutifully filled out all the questions, and we met for the first time face to face. What was it, 15 to 30 minutes ahead? It wasn't
Was it?
long.
Yeah, no, I think when I sent out the questions, it was usually like 2 to 3 weeks in advance. So like, um, it was maybe 8 questions or so, but it was just so that you would know what I was gonna be asking you,
Right.
and, so that it wasn't just dropped on you.
Well, I
I'm
guess you
looking.
didn't
You
know
were
that I
episode 4.
actually ah, I guess what you didn't know was that I actually wrote out the answers to the questions. But anyway,
Oh,
I
well, I
digress.
mean, I can
Um,
totally see that now.
yeah, well, the process we go through for the podcast every week is very telling about how I work. But anyway, um, but you and I, yes, you sent those a couple weeks ahead, but we actually
Mhm.
we didn't see each other face to face. I didn't even
Oh,
know what
yeah,
you
no,
looked
like, we
like
met we met
until
15 minutes
that
before we
day.
started. Mhm.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So Biz and I think we almost had trouble starting the podcast because we are in this trouble starting that episode because we just started talking. It's like, oh wait, it's showtime.
Yeah.
Um, and we hit it off,
Mm.
hit it off hard. I mean,
Yeah.
we didn't we we had so much to talk about. We didn't even need my homework to be filled out. It was great.
We were a
And
Vegas wedding.
I know. So when it was over, and I think we went, you can look and see, but we must have gone an hour or more.
Oh, at
Um,
least. I
yeah.
just shared the link to the actual
Ah,
let
oh
me look.
yeah, there it
Yes,
is.
we went an hour and 5 minutes, and that was the first time that I had gone over 40 minutes.
Uh, and we had to stop each other.
Mhm.
We literally Biz clicks end the stream, and I
Mhm.
look at her and I said, "We should do a podcast." Now, what you need to know about me also, not only do I do my homework, but I don't do anything on a whim. I think about it carefully. I weigh the options. I do my research. But I knew sitting there with Biz that day that we were meant to do this more than once.
Yes.
And so she kind of looked at me and went, sure, we should do a podcast. Let's do it.
I'm a little more fly by the seat of my pants than she is.
I'm learning to be more fly by the seat of the pants because I know you, Biz. But
I mean, it
um,
doesn't always work out for me. I'm just gonna say.
I would say a year of podcast episodes is proof
Mhm.
that we might have something going on here. It's
This is
pretty
a good one.
special.
This was
Um,
a good jump.
but we started to plan it out and started our first episode was April 26th or something,
Mhm.
which is why we're celebrating maybe April 29th. It was between whatever last Friday's date was and today's date. It was in between that. And we decided with our first episode, it's meet the host. So we,
April
introduce
21st.
ourselves and there you go.
Sorry, I happen to just I have it up. Look at it.
So apparently I didn't do my homework here, which is odd for me. And Biz is, you know, doing the group work for me. But it's been a fabulous ride. We have had so much fun. And if you
Yes.
look at the length of our episodes, we don't have trouble finding anything to talk about at all, ever.
No,
And
we usually have to stop it. Like we're like, okay, we have to stop yammering now.
yeah, whichever one of us is host is kind of going, yep, let's wrap it up. Time out. Time to go.
Yes.
But we have just had a blast. We make each other laugh. We
Yes.
hope we make you laugh because crochet is fun.
Yes.
Life can be fun, even though there's stuff that happens. But, we've just had so much fun. And I can't thank Biz enough for coming up with that project that then turned into our podcast.
Yeah. I mean, it kind of just I just moved it all over there because I was still continuing to pursue it for quite a while, but it felt like I was plowing rocks there and this was not. You know what I mean?
This it just doesn't feel like work, does it?
No,
I
it
mean,
never does.
there's a little bit of work that goes into it because the process is we choose the topics we're gonna
We've become
talk
more
about.
intentional, yeah, about what we're
Yeah,
going
and
to.
I will go through because I'm the homework person. So I don't look like a blithering idiot, which would happen if I had no outline. I go in and I outline everything, and so it's all kind of planned out in my head
Mhm.
before we start. So
I mean, I'm just sitting over here thinking, and I am just like the blithering idiot because I just
no,
kind of show
you're
up. Well, there are days
no,
when
you're
it's
not.
like I didn't look at anything. I printed out our because you always make a really nice little outline for us for I printed out like 5 minutes before we're gonna start. I know where we're going. I don't know what we're going gonna say, but I know where we're
But
going.
I but Biz, I think that's a testament to, first of all, how much we love crochet,
Mhm.
how much we love spending time together, and that we really do know a lot of stuff. And once we turn the spigot on,
Mhm.
we just can't stop. So there have been a few topics that I've needed to go do some research for because they weren't my area of expertise.
Yeah,
But for
same.
the most part, we've stuck to topics that you and we come at them from different angles, but we know them really well. So
You know what
it
we
works
need to
out.
do? What we need to do for this next year, and I'm just gonna throw this out here, out in everybody land. We need to find out from you guys
Mhm.
out there, what do you want to talk about? Because we've hit
Yeah.
all of our favorite subjects. That's what we did this last year. We tackled all our favorite subjects. So now we're kind of at a place where we know where we're going for the next few months, but we could use some input.
Yeah, and I think for me, it's our tagline is what is it? Where we tackle everyday frustrations in crochet,
Yeah.
your everyday, right? So this is really supposed to be about the listener. So
Mhm.
we're going to be coming at you hard this year with
Mhm.
some topic suggestions and things like that. That
Yep.
even if we don't know what to do with that topic, we can research, we can ask questions, we can reach
Mhm.
out to colleagues. We've got it covered.
Mhm.
So we want you to help us out. All
Yeah,
right.
definitely.
Highlights
Alright.
of the last year. This is fun. Um,
Yeah.
so Biz, what were some of the things that you really enjoyed talking about this past year?
Okay, so I went through and because I went over the outline. I knew that we were gonna talk about this. Um, so I actually picked out a couple of months because there were several episodes, I think, within these months
Mhm.
that were my favorite subjects to talk about. Um, my most favorite one, I'm gonna say, is probably blanket month that we did in October.
Mhm.
That was
Right.
one of the first times, because we started in what, April, but we really didn't start doing themed months until like August or September.
Right.
And so October was one of the first times that we really had a solid theme. And it was about blankets, and it's one of my favorite subjects. And I know you make
Yeah,
a lot of blankets too, but
I
I
do.
that's the one that I really had the most fun with. And I liked the fact that I was able to do one episode completely about talking about how to create an independent inspiration blanket without
Mhm.
blowing anybody's copyrights or anything
Right.
like that. So
Yeah,
that
and
was
your blankets are so inspiring. I mean, you have a theme to each blanket, and
mhm,
you very carefully craft it so that everyone knows what the different pieces of it means,
mhm.
but it's not infringing on someone's trademark or copyright.
Right.
I love
'Cause
that
that just
episode
that
too.
just burns my butt. I mean,
Yeah.
I have a
Well,
problem with copyrighted stuff.
and you should, everybody
Yeah.
should, because it's, it kind of makes my hair curl when I see someone asking for a pattern for, I don't know, a Disney character or a Star Wars character or something.
Mhm.
Um, the image is trademarked, so it's,
It is.
really kind of taboo to do that. That was a great episode.
Yeah. So what about you? What would be your
Oh,
favorite?
well, I don't necessarily have a favorite episode. I too have favorite themes.
Mm.
Being the educator in me loves to do crochet skills episodes. I just
Mm.
love sharing that. And my favorite, you're going to laugh, was the repeats episode.
Really?
Yeah,
The
yeah.
popcorns and baubles was one of my favorites.
Yeah, that was fun too because I think they're so misunderstood. But repeats are so hard for
Mhm.
people to read and understand, and there are so many different ways to write them that it was fun to just dive in and share all the different ways to help people read those in patterns. So I love the
Mhm.
crochet skills episodes.
Yeah.
Um, I have to say that um, I love the various tips and tricks that we talk about, like working with black yarn, choosing the right hook, because that one is a really tough one.
Mhm.
Um, and then we did a really fun theme in December, getting everybody ready for Christmas and the
Yeah.
holidays. So
Yeah.
holiday gift giving, sharing some designs from colleagues and things to get us um, going for the holiday season. Those were some of the
Yeah.
highlights for me.
Well, I had a couple more months. My other 2 favorite months were January, the self-care month,
Mhm.
and, then
Yep,
the one that we just finished up in April, the
yep.
eco-conscious one, that one was my other favorite as far as, like, the months and the themes were concerned. I always love Christmas. I mean, anything Christmas for me is always the bomb. But, um, the other thing, though, the big highlight for me this year was our collaboration on the memories blanket.
Oh gosh, that was
That was
just
my
amazing.
all-time favorite.
That My goodness, and I'm still seeing people talk about the memories blanket.
Mhm.
It just ended up being, I learned so much from doing that blanket, and we both know a lot about crochet, but man, I learned new stitches,
Mhm.
learned different ways of looking at the same result, getting the
Mhm.
same result, things like
Yeah.
that. And it's just a special, special blanket. I'm not sure we'll be able to replicate that anytime soon, but
Well, and it had such and that like, we said, I always tell a story with my blankets, and
mhm,
so, of course, this one was no different. So when we were talking about what do we want this blanket to be about, and we were actually it was back in, like, I wanna say August or September, we were talking about scrap projects. Maybe it was
mhm,
blanket month, I don't even know. But we were talking about I think it was in October because we were talking about scrap projects and that we should come up with something to use up all of our scraps. And
mhm.
then we were also talking about because you and I were, and this was all off, not one of our episodes, but this is in one of the many hours that we would spend chatting afterwards. Um, we were like, hey, we should do a self-care month. We were talking about January. And then we were like, well, wait, maybe we should tie those two together. How could we tie together a scrap project with self-care?
Mhm.
And so it just kind of got snowballed and became out of that. But the story behind it was that to take all of those old scraps, all of the things that you've done to love on other people, to do for other people, and
Mhm.
to create something and remember all of those projects as you're working on
Yeah.
a new project.
Yeah. And it was wildly popular.
Yes.
So
I loved
we're gonna
seeing everybody's
do
stuff.
I did too, and like I said, in my Facebook group, I'm still seeing people working on it, so it's something
Mhm.
it's a gift that keeps on giving. It's just a really special project,
Mhm.
proof that we can collaborate on more than just a podcast. Yeah.
Yes. You're smart.
Let's see. Uh, we just love crochet a little bit too much. I'm sorry. Okay,
We do.
next
We do.
up. Now
Mhm.
we kind of talked about this in the last segment. What's your favorite episode? Um, I don't really have a favorite episode. If I went back and looked, there were a couple of times when we laughed, I think, the entire episode, and those are always my favorite, just when we have
Yeah.
so much fun. Um,
Yeah, the only ones that I probably didn't love were the ones where we were, like, sitting there looking at each other going, "No idea what I'm talking about. Need this 40 minutes to go a little faster, please."
I mean,
Those were
every
hard
once in a
ones.
while, grant us some grace here. Every once in a while, we just have a day.
Mhm.
It is Friday afternoon. Let's just be real about what time this is. By this
Yes.
time, I don't know about your brain biz, but my brain is like, it's time to shut down,
Yeah,
baby. Time to shut
yeah.
down. But we do it because it's so much fun.
It
I
is.
have to say, not a favorite episode, but one of my favorites to do with you because I learned so much was being an eco-conscious crocheter and
Mm.
learning about yarn scraps because I suffer like everyone else. Finish a project, what do I do with that ball of yarn? Um, and just knowing what impact I have on the environment in that respect. I know about plastic bags, I know about paper towels, I know about, closing the windows when you've got the air conditioner on, all of that kind of stuff. But I didn't know about how to save the environment through
Mm.
crochet. And that was a lot of fun.
Yeah. And I I feel like I'm kind of, weird in the sense that I am I'm anti-bandwagon anything. And so I am not the person who goes out and marches. I am not the person who goes out and, you know, proclaims my whatever to the world. But I feel very passionately about, you know, stewardship and taking care of where we are. And it wasn't where I went or was even raised like this because I was raised on a farm in Wisconsin and it was just the way life was. And um so for me to just kind of all of a sudden be willing to talk about how much we can do for the earth through our crochet and just being mindful of what we're using, etc. It's such a weird thing for me to put that kind of information out there because, like I said, I am not a marcher. I'm not a proclaimer.
No, but I think we have a responsibility, each
Yeah.
individual. It's one of the things that I keep trying to drive home with my husband, who goes, "Oh, that paper towel isn't going to make any difference because it's one little sliver of paper towel."
Mhm,
But yes, it is when you multiply it by all of
mhm,
the other hundreds of thousands of people who went, that one little sliver of paper towel is not going to make any difference.
mhm.
The same with yarn. It's actually changed my buying habits. Um,
Interesting.
I I I'm the person who would go, "Okay, I wanna start a new project. Let's go online and find it."
Yeah.
Well, I except for this yarn that I'm gonna be collaborating with,
Mhm,
um, Joanna on a cowl, which I had to buy because it was specifically for that cowl. I
mhm.
have not bought any yarn this
Wow.
year,
That's I mean, that's awesome. That is really good.
right? Now, except for the memories blanket, I did make that a
Mhm.
coordinated effort, so we saw, here's how you do yarn scraps. I didn't have enough dedicated yarn scraps to be able to do that
Mhm.
blanket justice, so I did buy some yarn, but I've been shopping my own stash. I mean, what you
Mhm.
see behind me right
Yeah.
here is not all the yarn I have, and I'm not gonna show you all the rest of it because it's a giant mess, um, but that's a lot of yarn to go through, and I'm making a concerted effort to get through it because of the series we did.
That's really awesome.
Mhm.
I too usually shop from my stash. I've got a lot of babies coming this year. There's so many. It's not just Stephanie. There's like so many. Everybody got pregnant this year. So I'm only going to be able to really promise 2 blankets because of, these guys. But I bought the yarn for them because the yarn was on sale, but I only bought what I knew I needed. And
Right?
then the only other things that I purchased yarn for is stuff that I was using a specific yarn that I had to order for a design.
Mhm.
Other
Right.
than that, the Wonka blanket that I've been working on, is all my stash because I had just been hoarding DK weight yarn for so long. I have got the world's largest variety of colors, so I thought I might as well use them.
I discovered when I was going through all my yarn that I also have a lot of DK weight yarn. They're all dark. I don't know what period
It's
I
so
went through.
moody.
It's like, I need dark. Well, if you've ever tried to photograph dark yarn for a product photo, you can't see anything. In fact, I'm
Oh,
a part of a blanket cowl right now where the host designer made my strip in the darkest. It wasn't black, but it's so dark you can't see the intricacy of the stitches. I mean, I was really proud
yeah.
of those stitches, and you can't see them in the photos. So
Yeah.
anyway, I went through my dark DK period, and now I've seen the light. So anyway,
Her moody, her moody
oh,
emo
let's
yarn
see. All
period.
right. Wait, what was okay? So Neve said, what did she see? Debbie was brave. I was told a
It's when
yellow
we were
belly
talking about
never.
the videos.
Oh, no,
'Cause I
Neve,
have been trying to
you're
get Neve
fine.
on camera
Uh,
for years. Years.
okay, so Dawn, and see, sometimes you have to augment your stash, right? I
Mhm,
purchased neutrals to go with my stash, so that's
mhm.
legitimate.
Yeah,
Um,
and that's a really good
absolutely,
investment.
right? That's legitimate. Yeah, so that was one of my favorites. So anyway, uh, should we look ahead?
Sure.
All right, hold on. I got to get back to my screen.
Da,
Here
da,
it
da.
is. A look ahead.
Oh, look
Okay, so
ahead.
Biz and I have spilled the beans that we don't have a lot planned for the future. Although,
There's some things.
yeah, we do have some things that are already tentatively on the books. So we're going to finish out the month of May with tribute to moms and tribute
Mhm,
to, the start of summer and that sort of thing, general things.
mhm.
And I forget, you see what our crochet skills. Oh, oh, this is going to be fun. Crochet skills. We're going to go back to blankets and I'm going to
Mhm,
talk about our favorite seaming and border
mhm.
techniques. So that's going to be a lot of fun. Then the month of June, starting with the last day of May, we're going to do a tribute to dads because of Father's Day. But we're
Mhm.
dedicating, if we can find the information, we're going to dedicate an episode to the men who crochet. What?
Yes.
I
I've
can't
got a
wait.
couple that
Yeah.
I know personally that I'm gonna reach out to, so
Yeah. I just saw one on Instagram the Yarn Whisperer. There's another one.
Yeah,
They probably wouldn't even care who I was, but I think it would be hilarious to get them to join us, right?
that would be
For a little yeah, we could do a little interview or something. But anyway, that's kind of a look ahead. Then, Biz, spill the beans about our design collaboration for the fall. I know, right?
okay. So we're taking our two favorite parts of the memories, Cal, and we are going to combine them into a new collection that's going to be coming out in the fall. There's going to be wearables and home decor. Um, we're not going to spill on what those two are yet, just because we want to keep something a surprise. But
Close
that's
to
going
the
to be
vest.
coming out like August, September. Is that what we're
I
planning?
think the plan is we're going to kind of drip it through the fall,
Okay.
so that by the
Okay.
time that we get through the fall, we've got an entire collection of
Mhm.
things that we've designed together, and we just started talking about color palettes.
Yay!
Um,
Yes.
yeah, I know, right? And we're
That's like my
narrowing up.
favorite part.
We we we've got a list that could choke a horse here of things that
Oh,
we could
yeah.
design. So it's
Mhm.
probably going to last it to next year if we do everything we want to do. But it's going to be so much fun.
Mhm.
Um, that's starting, I
It's
don't
gonna be
know,
so good.
August or
Yeah,
September.
I think
Yeah,
I don't know where we have it on the I'm gonna look, though. I've got my calendar in front of me.
because October I have my next Granny Stitch sampler blanket, Cal.
Yeah, and you know what? August is technically Granny Square month. Yep, we chose September as the bundle month.
The
So
kickoff.
we will start at
I like it.
September, which will be great because I'm having a grandbaby in August. So
There you go.
I'm gonna have to
Oh
take
my
some time
gosh.
off. Not off, but you know what I mean.
All right. So, one of the things that we want to do is gather ideas from you, our faithful listeners. So, we're going to be popping into our Facebook groups, our Facebook pages, um, and Instagram, wherever we can find. We're just going to research pain points, that frustrations that we see. I mean, I did one this week. One of my grandsons loves to frog. So, he's been the guy. He's almost 12. So I don't know what's going on, but this kid loves to
Is
organize.
he
And he's
the
actually
blue
he's
or gray
been
haired one? Is it blue
it's
or
blue right now.
blue?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
blue right now. The other one has long hair and he's really
Okay.
tall. So anyway, he's been helping me organize. And as we're going through, I decided to go through absolutely everything. And I'm finding
Nice.
projects that, either I swatched something, or I started a project and didn't like it and just put it away.
Uh-huh.
His mission in life is to frog through all of those projects.
That's so
So if you go,
awesome.
and he loves it. He loves it. So this week I posted a reel on Instagram that
I
says
saw that.
frogging is fun, with him frogging this project. He did another
What
video
was
for
he
me. We're going
frogging,
to do
by the
the,
way?
I don't know. It was probably some bag. I don't know. It was really
I have no
pretty,
idea.
but it wasn't, yeah. And next week I'm going to put up a reel. He also did a frogging mic drop. So that's where, instead of dropping the mic, you
Oh
drop the
my gosh,
project.
that's too funny.
He just loves it. So frogging, I think we definitely need to talk about frogging. That everybody talks about
Frogging
frogging.
is
So,
fun. You know what?
right,
We need
frogging is
we need to have a
fun.
t-shirt.
Frogging is fun. That could be part of our swag. We'll
Yes.
figure out. Yep.
Eventually we're gonna have
Um,
swag. Someday we're gonna get ourselves together. But
there's one.
you kinda have to wait for that stuff until after you've hit a year, and now we've hit a year,
We've
so
hit it. Oh man, now the pressure's on to have
it
swag.
is.
I don't. Maybe we could start small with buttons.
There you go.
I've got
Buttons
buttons
and project
everywhere
bag.
except right in front of me. Right. So anyway, we'll do
And
that.
stickers for the ones who
But
have that fetish. I like stickers.
that gives you a look ahead.
Mhm.
So, Biz, do you have anything else to add to our celebration of
No.
a
Uh,
year? Oh my gosh, I'm still just agog. We
I
made it.
mean, I think that we've as in the year, it has turned from, uh, 2 people who were getting to know each other on camera to friends, and it's a group of friends getting together every Friday, and I think that's what I love the most about us.
Well, so Biz, you're welcome to share the fact that I was just a straight-laced pole when we started, and now now
I mean,
now
I'm
I'm a
gonna be
little
honest, I
looser.
was never quite sure if she was okay because I was like, she doesn't seem very happy." And but I finally learned that she was stressed out, because she was in a land that she wasn't used to, and she needed to have things very, very straight-laced and buttoned for a little while. And she over the last year, she's really I think you've really come out of your shell.
Well, Biz, that's all because of you. We laugh together, it's fun. So, congratulations to you, Biz, and congratulations on the
Yes.
podcast, and, 1 year, and we're gonna make it to our 2nd anniversary. Come
Oh,
hell or high water, we're gonna do it!
yeah. Yeah.
Uh, all right. We end every episode
Mhm.
by talking about what we've been watching. Now, originally, we started, talking about true crime, but it didn't
Mhm.
take us long to figure out that my definition of true crime is a little different from Biz's. So I'm more I mean, this is our personality, right?
Yeah.
Um, straight-laced procedurals
Yes.
that are fiction, and Biz is truly, truly a true crime fan. I mean,
She is I like
the
documentaries about killers. I
yeah,
like watching all of the shows about how did it happen and why did it happen. And I
uh,
also am into like anthologies where I'm currently hooked on True Detective on Max. Like I said last week, it has some language in it and it depends on the season. There's like physical bodies of the naked variety in them as well. If you're okay with that stuff, then watch it. If you're not okay with it, I would not pursue this show. I it kind of just goes over my I don't really listen to it. So because I'm there for the characters, because that's
yep,
one thing we're both very character driven.
yep, very character driven,
And I will
right?
say, I read some reviews about the show that I'm watching, the True Detective on Max, and they said that apparently season 1 is voted as the best one. I'm just gonna say this, they're all weird. Every every single season is weird. Some of them are easier to get into and follow, and they're a little more interesting, but they're all weird. I'm currently on the 4th season. Bummer because it's the last season. And it's also not all of the episodes are there, so now I'm gonna have to wait once I catch up. So, um, but
That'll be somewhere down
yes,
the line.
but it's really good.
Oh my
The
gosh.
4th season is really good. It's a little more on the sci-fi end, and that's all I'll say.
Ooh.
I love
Oh,
sci-fi.
all right. Well, me too.
What have you
Max,
been
I'm
watching?
not. Oh gosh. Okay. Well, the same old, except this week, heartbroken because NCIS has decided to cancel the Hawaii version.
Oh, no.
They came up
I
with
thought
a
it was doing so
Sydney,
well, though.
it is. And this is where I'm just a little befuddled here. They came out
Yeah.
with a Sydney, Australia version. It is not good by I mean, I even I've watched as much as I can.
Yeah.
The lead detective, the Mark Harmon of Australia, is uh, a really bad actress, really bad. And they just haven't made the quirky and the serious work yet. They're keeping that one and canceling Hawaii.
Oh
I'm
my
like,
gosh.
are you serious right now?
It's
Yeah,
almost like Netflix now. Like, if it's really good and it's really popular, they have to cancel it. I mean,
ugh.
the really bad
Well,
stuff gets
I
canceled.
don't think Sydney's gonna last long, but they
Mm,
didn't cancel it after the first season, so maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Um, but we have 1 episode left of season 2 of Traders UK, 1 episode. So, oh my gosh, just watching them talk about who they think is a traitor and who's not, and the
mhm.
strategy they're using is crazy.
You seriously
Uh,
have to watch Australia and New Zealand. They both have 2 seasons. Just
yep.
wait, take that back. New Zealand only has 1. The New Zealand one we just finished last night. Loved the way that it finished. It was a little hairy for a little while there because you get certain personalities that you're like, I would be okay if they won. And then you've got other personalities like, oh my God, they've got to get these people out of there because
Get 'em
like
out of there.
they're awful. They're awful
Yeah.
people. And of course, there's always the editing and all of that stuff, but
Well, they
you're
do
you're
that
you're
for the
rooting for certain
drama.
people.
Yeah. Yeah, that was the way with this season of Traitors. I don't know why we watched season 2, we haven't watched season 1, but, there was one guy, who was just I don't know how he didn't get voted off sooner because he was just cocky, thought he was so stinking smart.
Oh
They
my
finally
god.
caught on and
Yes.
voted him off, so,
Yeah.
anyway,
So, Australia season 2, that guy's worse than anybody that you've come across. And
great.
I'm not gonna say anything about how it ends. All I'm gonna say is I loved it. I loved it.
Okay.
You gotta watch Australia.
Alright, I will do that. I have to finish there are other things I have to finish first.
She's like, "Oh my god, the list just keeps getting bigger."
List and yeah, but that's okay, I'd rather have
Mm,
a long list than a short list, cause short list is really boring.
it is, because I have to have that background noise.
Yeah,
So,
that's my crochet time. So,
mhm, same
alright,
here.
darling, we
Yes,
have solved all the problems of the
all the
world and,
problems.
TV and
Hopefully.
whatever. Yeah? So it's on to year number 2.
Uh-huh.
So we're on episode 44.
Yep,
50, as I mentioned, is in June.
yep.
I don't have the outline up here. I can't tell you exactly what that's gonna be about, but
Hang
we're
on,
gonna have
hang on.
some
I gotta hang
she's done her homework.
on. Oh, we don't have a subject.
Well, we have homework.
We
So
just we just have a special thing.
we do. So there if we get our act together, we're gonna have some special things
Mhm.
leading up to it with a culminating event on the day of the 50th episode. So stay tuned. We
Yes.
love having you here. You're the reason why we do this.
Yep.
Yes, Biz and I have a lot of fun talking to each other. We can do that off camera as well, and we do a
And
lot
we
of it.
do.
So it's like once we press end, we'll be on here for another hour. So,
Probably.
it's just the way it goes. But we want you to know that you are the reason that we do this. And we are so thankful for all of the people who hang out with us every week, for the people who
Mhm.
watch us in the replays, for all of the people in the social media universe who know about this podcast and take part in it somehow, somewhere, sometime. So,
Yes.
looking forward to another year, Ms.
We're
Biz.
grateful for you guys.
Very grateful. So, we're going to say goodbye for now. Bye
Mhm.
to all of you, and we will see you next week
Mhm.
when we have a tribute to moms.
Yay.
All right.
Love
Bye,
everybody.
everybody.
Bye.